Now the next topic, that is fertilization. In fertilization, what happens? There is fusion of male and female gamete. When flower matures, and immediately after pollination, what happens? So what is this? This is carpel, and this is ovary. This is style, and this is stigma. After pollination, when pollen grain that reaches into the stigma of the carpel, then this pollen grain that develop a pollen tube, like this. This is the pollen tube. Then this pollen tube that reaches to the ovule, and this is the ovule. This pollen tube that contains male gametes. These male gametes that reaches to the ovule, and here it fuses with the female gamete. So here the fusion of male gamete and female gamete that occurs, and this process is known as fertilization. So what happens in fertilization? Pollen grains that reaches to stigma, then pollen tube develops, and that reaches to the ovule, where it releases the male gamete, and here the female gamete that also present, and male and female gamete that fused, and this process is known as fertilization. So this is fertilization. Now the next, that is fruit. First of all, after fertilization, what happens? The flower that contains petals that shed off, or calyx that is also shed off. Now the fruit that is the ripened ovary. When fruit matures, it is called as ripened ovary. You can see the structure of the fruit. It has outer layer that is known as epicarp, then mesocarp, after that endocarp, and these all combined known as pericarp, and this is the seed. This is the seed. So fruit have outer layer that is known as pericarp, and it has three parts: epicarp, that is outer structure; mesocarp, that is fleshy structure; and endocarp, outer the seed coat, and inner to this there is seed. And fruit has also two types. There is true fruit and false fruit. So this is mango, and mango is called as true fruit. Why it is so? Because true fruits are those which have these three layers. These are distinct. These have three distinct layers and have pericarp. So that is called as the true fruit. While false fruit are those where this pericarp that is not fleshy. For example, false fruit is apple. In apple, the part which we eat, that is thalamus, that is not pericarp. So it is called as false fruit. So this is all about the fruit, true fruit and false fruit, and their structure. Now fleshy and dry fruit. Fleshy and, so you have seen these two type of fruits, fleshy and dry fruits. In fleshy fruits, example that is mango, in which pericarp that is present, and dry fruit like almond or walnut. In this dry fruit, what happened? The pericarp that is woody. So it is a difference between the fleshy and dry fruits, that fleshy fruits have, for example, that is mango, and dry fruit like almond or walnut. Now next is the structure of the seed. First of all, seed that is the ripened ovule. Ripened ovule. Fruit that is a ripened ovary, and seed that is a ripened ovule. Now the structure of the seed. Now in this seed, it is a dicotyledon. Dicotyledon means it has two cotyledon. There is a outer structure that is known as seed coat. So because this is seed, so the outer structure that is known as seed coat. Here is a radicle and it is a plumule. Plumule that give rise to shoot part. When a seed germinate, plumule that give rise to shoot part, while this radicle that give rise to root part. And these are cotyledon. They store the food for the germinating seed. So this is the structure of the seed: seed coat, radicle, plumule and cotyledon. And seeds, these are of two types. First one that is monocotyledon, and second one that is dicotyledon. Mono means single, so it has single cotyledon. For example, maize. Dicotyledon means di, it has two cotyledon. So for example, gram, pea. You see different type of dicotyledonous plants in your routine, like in kitchen, gram, pea. You also can see maize, that is monocotyledon plant. Now the next one is the germination of seed. How seed germinate? So if this is a seed, when we put it into water, what happens? It swells. It swells, it take water, so that the seed coat that burst. Seed coat that burst, and the different part, that is plumule or radicle, that give rise to the root and shoot of the plant. So germination, that is the formation of new plant from the seed. Now for germination, what is essential factors? That is water, light and oxygen. So water, that is important for germination, because when we put the seed into the water, then it imbibes the water and swell up, and their seed coat that burst. So water, that is necessary for the germination of seed. Light, that is also important, and oxygen, that is also important. There is experiment in your book where in a flask water that is taken, and in the slide 3 seeds, these are placed for few days. So what we observe in this experiment, that this seed that doesn't grow, that does not grow, because here is water, but oxygen level that is very low, so it can't germinate. This topmost, that is also not germinate, because here oxygen content that is high, but the water content that is absent. Water that is absent, so it can't germinate. In these 3 seeds, only this germinate. Why? Because it take proper nutrition with water and also take proper oxygen. So the light, oxygen and water, that these all 3 factors that are essential for the germination of seed. Now the last one is types of seed germination. Types of seed germination, that is, first one is apigeal and second one is hypogeal. So when we saw a seed, for example, this is seed. In apigeal, what happened? This seed have seed coat. That seed coat that remain under the soil, and cotyledon part that come at the upper side, upper on the ground. So that is apigeal, where the cotyledon that is upper to the soil. In hypogeal, what happens? In this seed is here. So in hypogeal type, seed that remain under the soil or on the surface of soil. This is the basic difference between the apigeal growth and hypogeal growth. In apigeal, the cotyledon that on the ground, while in hypogeal, in this seed or cotyledon that remain under the ground or on the soil. Thank you.